Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review and back on the Rugrats film franchise or the trilogy. And getting to the last one is well, after reviewing the first one, I like because I grew with it, especially growing with the cartoon. I enjoy the first Rugrats movie, which show again. Then came to my favorite of the trilogy, Rugrats in Paris, the movie. The best one in the franchise to me. And now we move on to, which some people, if people say it's the best one in the series, I can understand, but to me, in Paris one was the best one, is now Rugrats Go Wild. And now a lot of people will probably say it's the best one, because this is the the Rugrats film where they crossed over, where they met the Wild Thornberrys. And with the Wild Thornberrys, I also like the Rugrats. I also grew up with the Wild Thornberrys as well. It's another classic Nickelodeon TV show. And I like it because I did like the fact that they got these two Nickelodeon shows to cross over and they meet how they met each other in the movie. So I do enjoy for that. I did have fun seeing that these two classic Nickelodeon shows come together, being brought together, and definitely one of the highlights of the movie is that Spike he talks because Eliza has the gift to talk to animals, and she speaks to Spike, and is voiced by Bruce Willis. That's like the main highlight of the movie. Not only I enjoy how these two shows was brought together, but the main highlight for me was that Spike he speaks, but he's voiced by Bruce Willis. And I think Bruce Willis I think he was fun to watch, to see him voice Spike. I think he was fun to watch. Looking back and say, yeah, I think he was like the right voice as to voice Spike. I could definitely see. Personally, I don't see how other actor can voice Spike, but it was fun to see to watch Bruce Willis, especially in a Nickelodeon movie with these two classic TV shows together, and especially his voicing Spike. So that's the highlight of the movie for me. And when the film came out, it came out in the summer, like how both the previous films were released in November around the Thanksgiving holiday. This one was released in the summer of 2003, 3 years after the second film, and it was met with much more mixed to negative reviews than the previous two films. Like the first film was kind of like 50-50, even on the ratings as well. The second film was much more critically positive than the first one. This one it got much more lower rating, sadly though. On IMDb it has a 5.6 and which is much lower than the first two films, and much lower rating on Rotten Tomatoes than the previous two. This one has a 41%. And it made less money in the world at the box office worldwide than the previous two, of course. Made like about 55 million worldwide, and domestically, I think it made like about 39.4 million. But it was successful. But it was a modest success overall. But I think the fact is that it didn't do that well because people were at the time Finding Nemo was out, and people people were flying in to see that because that was a much more better critically acclaimed Disney Pixar movie. So everyone wanted to see that more than this. That's why probably the reason why the film didn't do that well, because it was a much better animated film. So yeah, but I still like it, but if I were to pick as this would be first, then this would be second, and then this will be third. I still like it, but I'm just putting it as a rank which one I think is rating it as the best for each in the trilogy. But that being said, yeah, I still enjoy Go Wild. And into it, it's after, of course, it's after in Paris, and they in the Rugrats, they're doing a little, like how they usually do with their imaginations and stuff. They do like a safari type of thing, and Tommy's been watching, Nigel Thornberry, voiced by Tim Curry as he was in the series. He's doing his safari shows, and Tommy wants to do stuff like Nigel. And everyone, all the families, they're getting together to go to this luxurious cruise ship by Lipschitz. And Lipschitz has been like this baby therapy thing. If you've heard throughout the show, you hear the word Lipschitz. So they want to go to this cruise. They're looking forward to it. Everyone's going, including Soucie this time. I would say Soucie has more screen. Soucie has more screen time than she was in the previous two films. Like in Paris, she was at the beginning, and at the very end, and I think that she was only at the beginning of the first movie. That was it. So she has more screen time in this because she goes along with them. And when of course they bring Spike as well. And when they get there, they miss the boat. But Stu has his own plans on a different boat, which is basically like a not so great, basically almost like a piece of crap boat, basically. And everyone's not too happy with him doing that. But they have to make the best of it. And as they're out to sea. And one point, Angelica loses Cynthia in the ocean, and while that is happening, the Thornberrys, they're on this one island because the parents, Marianne and Nigel, they want to get footage of this leopard. And of course, with the Thornberrys, like with Debbie, typical, like she never wants to be here. She doesn't like, what their parents are doing. She just wants to do like normal teenager things. And of course, Eliza, with her ability to talk with animals. And of course, one thing, which I will review. If this film does take place after the Wild Thornberrys movie, because that was released in 2002 and this was 2003. Because this takes place after the movie, because by this time, Debbie, she knows of Eliza's secret of the ability to talk to animals because of the Thornberrys movie. So by this time, she knows that she knows that she can talk to animals, and because she says it as well, because when the parents get back, they go out again because they need to get this footage of this leopard. And Eliza decides to go out there, and she says, like, I could talk to animals, right? If I find a leopard, then if I find the leopard, then with the better we can get off this island sooner because they can capture it, because they want to go on a vacation, do normal family things. And Debbie's like, okay. So yeah, by the time says she knows that she can talk to animals because this takes place after the Wild Thornberrys movie. So I do like that there was a connection between that and this. So it's not like in the Thornberrys movie. Oh, she knows about it and then they forgot about it. No, they bring it up, indicating that it is after that movie. So I will review that though, but I'm doing this because it's part of the Rugrats trilogy. So, and then there was this big storm, and the whole Rugrats gang, they get hit by this big wave, and they get shipwrecked on that island where the Thornberrys are at. And now everyone is upset with Stu because they blame everything him. It's all his fault. And So they're trying to figure out what are they gonna do because they're on what are they gonna do about food or shelter or whatever. And I guess that they said that they put Betty as the leader. And while that's going on, the babies they wander off. See if they can I guess they can find somebody or whatever, whoever, because Tommy wants to do is like his thing, like Nigel Thornberry does. And well, Angelica has found Cynthia at the beach, and then she gets Spike to find the babies, and all with at least another, they all get lost, and then it went for one point. Donnie, they're the Thornberry's crazy adopted eight-flight son or brother. He's doing this thing on his own. He actually bumps into Chuck and steals his clothes. And while he was with the Rugrats, they're thinking, oh, Chucky's acting so weird because they can't tell the difference. And at one point where Angelica meets with Debbie, and at one point they start driving the Comfy because it's, I forget what was the name, but for the Comfy, and because it leads to one point where they accidentally sink it because it's mostly Angelica's fault. And then with Eliza, she finds Spike, and that's where you get the part where Spike starts talking, and you get voiced by Bruce Willis. You're like, you talking to me? Are you really talking to me? I could have sworn you were talking to me. So yeah, Bruce Willis was. That's the highlight of the movie. The highlight from the movie was Bruce Willis' voice of Spike, and he says that he's looking for his babies, which they thought was puppies, but because he didn't say it was human babies until a little bit later, and the point where they meet the leopard, and where the leopard speaks, voiced by Chrissie Hynde. Chrissie Hynde. I think looking it up, that she was one of the rock band for the Pretenders. I think she was like the one of the founding members of the rock band, the Pretenders. I haven't heard much about that group, so I wouldn't know about. But so she voices that, and Spike is not afraid in the least bit. He just thinks it's one cat is like every other house cat, so he's not afraid. And also one of the things one of the things I nitpick on is that the songs in the movie I overall don't care for. The best song in the movie for me is when Bruce Willis is singing a Spike. It's like, oh, what was that? What's the name of the song? Yeah, Big Bad Cat. To me, that's the best song of the movie when Bruce Willis is singing. So I had fun with him singing and when he's voicing Spike, and Spike doing all these things like his. With the Rugrats show, he's just how a dog acts, but when he's like when Eliza's talking to him, he starts acting all like what humans would do and stuff like that, dancing around and do all this other stuff. So I have fun with that. The best part of the best song of the movie is Big Bad Cat. So I had fun with that song. But all the other songs in the movie I just don't care for. I mean, the other two films had some songs though, but in this film, most of the songs I don't care for. But the best song to me was Big Bad Cat with Bruce Willis singing, and also the Chrissie Hynde singing as well. And also, like I said, I'll probably say the other reviews, but I just say that the leopard was not that much of a villain. I mean, you see Piers when the with Spike and Liza and Darwin, and then when Spike says that the human babies he's looking for goes to them, but uh the babies are just on they're like having their fun wild rides, with especially when Donnie's still acting like Chucky, what the babies think, and that was basically about it. You don't see much after that though, so I don't think that. So that's why I think that the leopard was not that much of a villain. I mean, Susan Sarandon in Rugrats of Paris as voice of Coco LaBouche, I think she was the best villain of the trilogy. And the wolf, like I said for the first movie, could have been I think could have been used more. I prefer the wolf at that than over the leopard here as a because they both were not in the film that much though. But I prefer the wolf more than the leopard here because I think the wolf could have been used more. This villain here of the leopard is not much. So after that, after Spike sings his tune, he says that he's looking for his human babies, and the leopard goes off to find them. And of course, and Nigel he sees the babies are lost, and he's going to go get them, but he falls off a cliff and a coconut hits him in the head, and he gets amnesia, and he starts acting all wacky. And they get chased by the leopard, which Donnie was there, and then the whole chase is just like, they go into the trees and stuff, and eventually give the leopard the slip, and Donnie finds Chuck again. They both swap the clothes back, and then all of them Willis know that they all get stranded into this underground cave. And with Angelica, who's with Debbie, she basically caused the whole Comfy to sink, and she goes and steals the underwater submarine. Like, she knows how amazing how a young girl knows how to start all this heavy equipment and knows how to steer and how to drive the thing. But then she's pressing buttons, and she eventually starts messing it up. So it's basically she's the one who sunk it, but Debbie gets the blame because Marion has found the parents, and she tries contacting with Debbie and bring the Comfy over here, but I can't. I actually sunk it. And then Angelica finds the babies. They all get in the submarine, and they start driving things out. Things go out of control, and then one thing leads to another. Nigel hits his head again. He returns back to normal, and he contacts on the radio that they're almost out of oxygen and no fuel. So Marion gets all the parents to retrieve the Comfy out of the water. They patch the flotation device, and they get this grabber to bring them back. And while as they're being hurled back, the babies and Nigel, they all get a glimpse of a giant squid swimming by, and they say, because they want to get he wants to get a picture, and the flash scares it away, and it inks away basically, and the picture is blank, and he says, "Oh, Susie's saying your picture didn't come out right." And it's like, well, I hope it's for the better, because no one has ever seen a giant squid. Well, by that time, they never saw a giant squid alive. Of course, recently, in real life, not that long ago, they've said that they found the existence of giant squids on camera and stuff like that, underwater or whatever. So that's kind of a dated thing, because they said that no one's ever seen a giant squid alive. So they said, oh, well, it's for the better, and this will be our little secret. So they bring the submarine back. The babies are now with their parents. And Mary and they're all in agreement that they decide to go on vacation. So it shows everybody on the Lip Ship's cruise ship doing their things, and it ends with the Spike speaking. It's like, Eliza, as dark as my witness, I will never lose my babies again. So yeah, overall I do like Rugrats Go Wild. Yeah, there was a few nitpicks though, like most of the songs I don't care for. The villain of the leopard was not much, but I enjoyed it because I did like the fact that these two Nickelodeon shows got brought together. I really do like that because I grew up with both of those shows. It was nice to see them together for this one movie. And the best part of the movie is Bruce Willis voicing Spike. That was definitely the big highlight. I had fun with his voice, especially when he's voicing Spike. You know, doing actor all fun, how a normal dog would not do, especially out of the things that Spike was in the series. Um, and also one thing, the voice cast of the Thornberrys were once again good. You know, the Danielle Harris once again voicing as Debbie. If everyone remembers, you know, she plays young Jamie from Halloween 4 and 5. What was the Lacey Chabert as Eliza, Tim Curry as Nigel, Tom Kane as Darwin, Flea as Donnie, Jodi, Carlisle, I think it was. If I mispronounced the last name, is Miriam. And the voice cast of the Rugrats, except for Nancy Cartwright, who replaced Christine Conavine, I mispronounced that last name, who previously voiced Chucky in the series in the previous two movies up until this point. Nancy Cartwright voiced Chucky in this film and then the rest of the series. But the rest of the voice cast was good, and Chrissie Hynde as the leopard, not bad voicing though. But this is the villain. The character itself was not much though, but the voice role wasn't bad. But Bruce Willis, I had lots of fun. I had lots of fun with Bruce Willis voicing Spike. That was, like I said before, I'm repeating myself again, but that's definitely the big highlight of the movie for me. I guess like if anyone remembers this movie, not because of the two crossovers, but maybe because Bruce Willis voicing Spike, seeing him speak. So, but overall, I like Rugrats Go Wild. I'm probably gonna understand why people like it. Some of the best in the franchise because of the two crossovers, but to me, the best part, the best in the trilogy was this. I still like the first film more than Go Wild though, because I grew up with this one first, because the first one came out. But still, regardless, I still like Go Wild, but that's why it's third though. But I still like it. And I will eventually review the Rugrats. The Wild Thornberrys movie. Because I do like the fact that they took that note from that this is after the Thornberrys movie, so. But I'll get to that when I eventually review it though. But even though this was the lowest, it was the lowest rated and box office wise though, I still had fun with Go Wild. What for features is behind the scenes featurette, deleted scenes, and alternate ending. Overall, this features is not much. The pacing, it's like, what was the timing on this thing? And it's on for 80 minutes, and all three of these were very good well paced, so they weren't that much slow. I didn't find them boring. So, but yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed my reviews of the Rugrats trilogy. The Rugrats, the show, the Nickelodeon show, is still a childhood cartoon. Not because I grew up with Disney, but Nickelodeon is also a good thing I grew up with as well. Especially with this, the Wild Thornberrys, SpongeBob, of course, and also Cat Dog as well. A lot of people seem to forget about Cat Dog. But yeah. So, but Rugrats Go Wild, I would give it a thumbs up. The highlights, the crossover, and Bruce Willis as Spike. That's the biggest highlight right there. But I still, even though this one's the best of the trilogy, Rugrats is second, the first movie is second, but this one I still like. So, hope you enjoyed my review of the trilogy. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, which is, well, we'll get into that though, but stay tuned for the next movie review, which is will be my Thanksgiving movie review, which will be, I said, of Beauty and the Beast. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you later.